Jan 27, Year of High Consequence, Karma Consequence, Part 3. That was number 1, Part 3. And I'm going to keep pushing on this to manifest some of this three-sided paradoxical thing about why am I in your face? Why do I feel I need to do this or rather just hold back and chill? And who am I and all that? And this is, again, it goes, you see it from the three sides. And it's the Jehovah side that says these are days of high consequence. And, but also our personal lives have significant, like, karmic meaning. That's actually, the Buddhites have that also. And to think, well, it feels like I need to keep talking. So who the hell am I? Well, I don't know. Possibly an old soul. The idea of old souls, um, that's Buddhite. It's Jehovahite also. It's definitely not materialite. So they have no reason to think I'm making sense at all. Anybody that wants to like actually take me seriously as a venture capitalist or a scientist or something, yeah, I am a Harvard dropout, however, because I had these visions, and even there, I had a vision when I went to Harvard. I instead of go to lunch with all these, uh, it was an annoying place to go to school. Let me tell you what, everybody was, what do you call that? Just too full of themselves. I hung out at MIT, ended up dropping out, going to Bennington first. Paradise, 600 people, 3-to-1 women. By the way, it used to be, and then 600 acres. It's possible to have. I've been experiencing heaven on earth whenever I could, and I have it right now in my little hut out here in the old growth forest all day, chilling, and it's beautiful. It's cold today. And the thing of it is, why am I bugging people? Because I've had a sense of mission all my life. And I believe in it now, and I'm just pushing into it. And it's time to break it out in other ways besides talking in the video. I have a YouTube channel. I don't care. I'm not sure where that goes, but I'm not about making a podcast happen unless I have some allies, and that's what needs to happen. So I'm trusting what needs to happen, including talking right now, as annoying as it may be. But I'm saying it as advice to everyone at this point to start thinking of themselves more importantly, because we all have that level of kind of a role in what's coming up. And you should get straight with every side of this, okay? You should, if you're from the Christian side, you should get straight with all that. But I would say you should expand beyond that and try to understand where the Buddhites and all these people that are talking about personal connection to health, things that you can understand personally. The Bible is true, Sid, but it's not the only story because it's what was handed down to us from all these thousands. And yeah, it's good, but look at all this other information, which is also good. But you do want to get discernment and not fall for all the naturally incentivized, um, you know, pumping the hostility and everything that's flashy. Stop thinking. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Stop anything. I'm not going to say anybody to stop doing anything. You want to criticize everything? Okay, that's what you're motivated to do. That's probably okay because we need to see where we're falling for deception, but the deception isn't so intentional. It is at a certain point, it becomes like, yeah, we want to sell more shit. Yeah. But that's already by the time someone's doing that, they've lost touch with their own intrinsic connection to other things. And it's not so much malevolent intent as it is like this the system is what I gotta do. You can trace it back to everyone's got lucidity, which there's no reason to be an a-hole coming from the logic of coming into being. So, but then you have the Jehovah's side says, yeah, you better guys get it straight this time. You know how many planets there are out there? You think that we're doing this drama with Jesus and death and all this struggle with the Romans and all this, and why all this history has been so accelerated on Earth? Yeah, that makes little sense from any other perspective, except perhaps the Jehovahite one that says, well, we've seen enough ascensions come and go, but this time we're doing it to make it count. And so we can get past a lot of this because once the one mind learns something, intent, it's meant to not have to keep relearning it. But then, there's a different, if you want to come from the materialized side and wonder why are animals, what's different about humans? I would say that's difficult to explain. You can explain it from other cultures, from other planets. If you want to go for just from evolution, there seems to be some wild leaps there. My explanation of it is that we're spirit, and I feel like I've come from previous lives on other planets, even yeah, but even before that, a spirit dimension that we've been at, and that's why we think in higher terms. And animals coming up through the material plane perhaps haven't experienced the spirit the same way some of us have. There's an esoteric aside, Mike. Well, I'm trying to say that people, doomsters, for example, we could be more. That's why I've got that radicalism and what radical utopianism in a time of collapse, because to embrace the potential positives, especially in these times where things are really tense, is a good strategy, even if you're just being practical, because it's hard to say how fast things break when we're really feeling it. Like today, I'm really feeling freezing, right? Cold, not freezing. I got a nice heater in here, but uh, the concept that when you're pressed, people do things, especially now with all this connection we have. And people say, it's all being manipulated and we should be paranoid. No, man, everybody's trying to do their best. I'm talking right now, like, it's hard. I wish I could speak to people that are being accused. I'm from the as far left if you want, but I'm the high ground where I'm all the way to the far right. Let me speak to Exxon, Elon, and say, look, brother, the way to make the future work is to bring back organic responsibility and ownership to the collective level of cooperatives, not from through politics, which creates all this other uh, incentive to backstab and go dark government just because you're a bureaucrat trying to hold on to your job, let alone the fact that you're being handed money from the very industries you're trying to corrupt. I mean, that you're trying to regulate because the people with the higher sense of how to do it right haven't bothered to treat industrialists with enough humanity to talk to them like human beings instead of pointing fingers all the time. And of course, the industrialists like, yeah, because we're so good at the material plane and these guys are just suckers with a big heart. Everybody get over that. Industrialists, if you don't have a happy planet, then where are you going to send your kids? And what the hell is the point of it all? So I'm talking about to the elites right now. It's like, yeah, I get it. You guys did what you had to do. At the same time, let's consciously bring it back home to where it makes sense to all of us. And you can, because I think I'm saying this for real because I don't think we're going to do it any other way. We're not going to do it by angry lefties pointing fingers at industrialists and, why don't you treat us right? And that's basically what all this whining is about. And I don't want to hear it from the left because nobody's listening anyway. But look, uh, yeah, I was Green Party state co-chair. I had Ralph Nader in the car. I said, Ralph, I've told that joke a few times. He's a funny man. He's still alive. He understands the idea that we're bringing it back to local business that's family based and really connects to community. Because otherwise, you're talking about governments that are distant and not connected to human beings. And it becomes impersonal and ugly. And you don't have to think of it as somebody trying to manipulate us. Even though while everybody's backstabbing each other, the some of us are looking like, yeah, I guess we can make a quick buck here by fucking backstabbing people some more. That was New York, sorry. And see how it's the practical, the personally spiritual, the personally just psychological, which brings you back to community again. It forces us to community. Now, from this Jehovah's side, it's putting it also as a collective karma, but not so explicitly, and yet it is. I mean, on the one hand, if you don't really want to step up to the collective karma, you don't have to. But I'm asking Christians, because I've got a few allies already in that world, and all of that energy from the right now. There's a lot of Christian energy there, and I've seen the reality of it. it's real. Jehovah's a real being. Jesus seems to be a separate being. That's a strange dichotomy, perhaps. Hard to figure. There's a three-sidedness everywhere, but within you as well, eh? You have your own intuitive connection to the higher. You have your own, like, think you're trying to logically figure it out and who you think you are. That's your middle ground. You say that's your Jehovah. And then there's Holy Ghost, your intuitive. And then your body is giving you another logic that's, you got to deal with it, where all the suffering is, if you want to think of that as your own personal Christ. That's for real. And but we have also, we need to get practical, personally responsible, and collectively responsible. And there's enough information out there now that it's entirely possible if we stop commodifying it. So I've been bringing up, another 5 minutes to wrap it up because I don't want to keep going today. There's a lot to think about. If you put yourself in the other perspective, it heals. They heal each other. You can get infinite positivity from the Jehovahite perspective, but then you can get a lot of getting real from the materialite perspective. Like, kids, you got to get real about this, and we really do, because it's possible to break down a whole planet and have it not be cool. And then the other transcendence you get from the Buddhite dimension is also really important, because it gives us empowerment individually to get responsible outside of what we're being told. And the fact is, from the Jehovahite side, the real story is good. If you stick true to the actual word, it says we're going to heal blindness. We're going to heal poverty. We're going to take care of people and not fall for the 10-horned beast, which weirdly is how many people own what? There's like that many hierarchical owners of whateverness, which is all on paper. People think they're super rich. Wait till the shit starts breaking down. If you don't have a connection to actual resource, and I say you can achieve this consciously, and we start doing it in the next 3 years, and we're in time to do it worldwide and pass the word. And as I say, we were the three-sided world order. That really is how Trump instinctively, I want to say, it wants to help Putin hold the third leg, because then you can keep China in check, and the two of them keep us in check, and the two of us keep China in check, and China and Putin and us keep Putin in check, and you have a three-sided standoff. Because if one side wins, then that becomes a fascism. If it comes down to us versus China, that turns into either it could be world war, but constant competition. And we're already doing that. But if we have a three-sided thing, the three-sided paradox, it happens in the world as well. That's why we're on the brink of, and that's what the most you can expect from government up to a point, what they're already kind of lining up. And the idea of dismantling the whole left-wing approach to social justice, because you can't achieve it by bureaucracy or decree. You're locking in the us versus them. And that's why, the ugliness is coming from the left. They're locking it in the us versus them. But that reflects what was happening before from the right. The right the Christian right, calling everybody evil. And even the political right calling the left libtards. Get over that. The left is compassionate. We're trying to take care of everybody. I'm putting myself in both camps. And also beyond the beyond of the beyond. I'm trying to suggest that, look, you can transcend this whole planet and it's going to be okay. But it is also Judgment Day. Jehovah's got it right. But also the motherships are out there, and if we play our cards right, and which means we solve our own inner conflicts. But these aren't random inner conflicts or something we were ever going to avoid. They're built into what happens when each of us starts trying to find our own way. And we got to get real with what it means in the real world, which is where you can have 8 billion people coexisting and actually being able to call each other up. That gets actually fuzzy out there in spirit land, I would imagine. I don't know. It feels like I've been sticking to the ground for many lifetimes now, I want to say. I want to say that. Because this, man, I've had like karmic, just being able to, I think, try to think straight in the midst of all this nonsense. So I know I'm not reaching most people. This is Notes to the One Mind, and we're going to bring it together. Next comes the websites, the flyers, even perhaps, and let's do a cultural movement. But we need to back that up with solid projects. And I'm going to say it again: permaculture is the foundation of it all. You already have that happening in Uganda and Kenya, and they're trying to connect that to donor money. We can get donor money going straight to building permaculture farms, and then what else do you need? Some workshops, and how does that translate in terms of uh, what we can lash together here on this side of the Atlantic, and turn that into community-based businesses that give people places to live, something to do, ongoing education forever, access to most of the things they need with group purchasing, intelligently designed that can be shared as a consumer app to the rest of the world.